Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this luxurious modern mansion. If you guys enjoy the build, please do remember to hit that like button. It really helps me out. I really appreciate it. If you have any more suggestions, leave them down below, down there in the comments. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy the content. But without any further ado, let me show you how to make this thing. So, if you want to make it, here's what you'll need. Grab yourself some block of quartz, some quartz slabs, some oak planks, some oak wood slabs, some blue stained glass blocks, some orange concrete, light grey concrete, white concrete, and some stone slab. We also need all of the other materials that you can see in the inventory right now, although we do need those to a lesser extent. Now, once you have all of that stuff, we can begin the build. The first part of this is a little bit tricky, but I believe in you guys. I'm sure that you'll be able to hang in there. So, to begin, we're going to place a row of 13 block of quartz coming up from the ground. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Just like that. And just to let you guys know, we are starting from the left-hand side of the front of the mansion, and we're working our way right. So, just to help you in figuring out where you're going to be building this. We then want to, from this row, we want to place a row of 11 oak wood planks to the right, yet one block backwards. So, we want to do, coming up from the ground, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then place an additional row of oak wood planks directly to the right of that, like this. We then, to the right of that row of oak wood planks, but coming towards us, want to place a row of 12 block of quartz coming up from the ground. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Just like that. And we want to create a bit of a pattern in this particular part of the building. So, we're going to leave one block's gap from the floor, and in between the two pairs of quartz, we're going to place quartz slabs. We're going to leave half a row's gap, and we're going to place another pair. And then we're going to leave, say a gap of 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to place another quartz slab with half a row's gap just above. So we're going to have something which should look like that. It's just for a pattern. It just looks nice, basically. What we then want to do is this. So we want to go right of this 12 quartz block by 8 using the oak wood planks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. We then want to place a block of quartz, and we want to connect that all the way down to the ground. Like that. Now, underneath the oak wood planks, we want to place 4 rows of glass. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we just want to have them coming all the way down and across from the oak wood. So that's 4 rows of glass coming all the way down, just like that. Oh, and by the way, silly little detail. You know this row of block of quartz that we placed on the right? It wants to be one higher than everywhere else. So it just wants to poke up one row higher than everywhere else. Underneath the 4th row of glass, place a layer of oak wood planks, like this. Then, place a row of block of quartz. Then, place a row of white. What we want to do here is we want to place an additional row of block of quartz coming inwards from the right hand side. So basically, we want to place a row of block of quartz here. So you just want to shrink that area a little bit by 1 row. So just in the empty space, you want to shrink it a bit. And then you want to cut it in half. And by doing that, you want to place a row of white concrete straight up the middle in the empty space. So we want to have this shape. Again, I'm sorry if this is hard to follow along. Inside of these 2 empty spaces that we have here, 1 row inside, we want to have a row of light grey concrete down at the bottom and at the top, like this. We want to have blue stained glass block inside of the empty space. This gives us a very cool effect when looking from the outside in, like that. We want to take the entire row of quartz here on the right, this long row, and we want to extend it 1 row towards us, like this. We then want to place a row of quartz slab in front of the top of the oak wood plank row, including the quartz block, and we want to place a row of quartz slab in front of the oak wood planks down at the bottom, like this. We then want to connect it together on the left hand side using a row of quartz block, like this. So we want to have that sort of shape. Very tricky really, but it is a very cool effect. What do we want to do next? Well, we're going to grab our oak wood planks here, and remember the row of oak wood planks that we placed earlier, coming across it. It was a row of 8, if you guys remember. We want to take that row of 8, and we want to move it through the row of quartz block, and we want to place a row of 9 oak wood planks going right through the block. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just like that. And we want to connect that row downwards. So we want to place a row coming down like this. And we want to place a row of block of quartz right of that row. And then in front of that row. So, I hate it when that happens. But in front of that row of block of quartz. I really do hate when that happens. But that is what we want to have. That's a shape. Now, we are going to add an additional row of oak wood planks underneath the top row of oak wood planks. So, just underneath, like that. We then want to place, going underneath that row, to the right, we want to place this. We want to place 2 glass, 1, 2, white concrete, 2 glass. The rest of it can be filled in using oak wood planks. We want to take the white concrete and the glass, and we want to extend them down by 3. 1, 2, 3. And same with the glass as well, like this. Like that. Underneath the window, or at the bottom of the window, and the top of the window, we want to place oak wood slabs, like this. Just to kind of like box the window in a little bit. Looks very nice. And what we also want to do, this will become more relevant later, by the way. We want to place an orange concrete going right of the bottom of the window, the oak wood slab, and we want to extend that concrete down 1. But we also want to go up on top of this concrete until it is as high as the house, and then we want it to go 2 blocks further. 1, 2, like this. So we are looking for this sort of shape. I know, it's very weird, but that's what we're going for. Then, underneath the entire window, we want to place 2 rows of oak wood planks. So like this, it's going to be 1 row coming underneath and 2 rows of oak wood planks. And we're also going to fill in this little empty space here inside of the orange concrete. So we just don't want to have any gaps, basically, like that. What we are then going to do is we are going to place, I do want to make sure that this is right, it'd be a bit silly if it wasn't. Underneath this row of oak wood planks, going from left to right, we want to place 2 glass, 1, 2, oak wood plank, 2 glass, white concrete, and 2 glass. We want to take the white concrete and we want to extend it down to the ground. We want to take the glass to the right of it and extend it down to the ground. We want to extend the oak wood plank down to the ground. And we want to extend the glass to the right of that down to the ground. And underneath this row of glass that we have here, we're going to place another row of glass. And inside here is where the entrance will be. This is the main entrance. There we go. Where we have the top row of glass here, we are going to place a row of quartz slab coming all the way across, like that. And just right of the entrance, we're going to place 2 oak wood planks in front of this row, starting from the bottom, 1, 2, with a slab on top, just like that. You can maybe even like add an additional slab. I don't know, that looks alright though. So far, this is what we want to have. Again, sorry if this is tricky, but it's quite a tricky house, honestly, it really is. So once you've got that sorted out, next, we're going to take out light grey concrete. Where we have this row of block of quartz here on the right, we want to, as if we're looking down at the ground, we want to, in front of and to the right of the block of quartz, we want to place a light grey. Extend it towards us. Do 2 bottom right diagonals. 1, 2. Right by 1. Bottom right diagonal. Right 2. we want to go up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to copy the shape that we have below us. So we're going to track back on ourselves, and we are going to copy the shape that we have just down below us, like that. Wonderful. And then we're going to place glass in here. So we're just going to fill up the entire thing with glass, like this. And then we're going to place quartz slab on the lower half of the window, going all the way around in front of the glass, and the upper window as well, just going all the way around to create a very curved shape, like that. Then we're going to extend the quartz slabs to the right, so that it's actually in front of the light grey concrete as well, and going right of the quartz slabs, starting from the ground, so right of and in front of the light grey row, we want to place a row of block of quartz that is as high as the light grey, and then 1 block higher, like that. We then want to extend the quartz block on top to the left by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then we want to take that same quartz block and we want to extend it right by 2. 1, 2. And then up by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we also want to extend it to the right by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take the last 2 blocks and extend them down all the way down to the ground, like this. And place a row of quartz block on top. So the shape that we're looking for should look very much like this. That's wonderful. And we are going to now extend... this is so tricky. We're going to take all of the quartz blocks that we just placed and we're going to extend them back by, let's say, about three rows. 3 rows would do. So like 1, 2, 3, and then so on and so forth. Every single one of the quartz blocks, because this house is very 3D. It's not just like flat. A lot of pieces have to join together, and you'll find that you have holes in the house if you just try and like do the silhouette of it. So we're just going to beef up the quartz a little bit, and it's going to help in actually constructing the house, as you guys will be able to see as we build it. But once we've just made the skeleton of the house, the quartz, once we've beefed this up a little bit, once everything interlocks a little bit better, what's that, 1, 2, how many did I bring it back? 3? Yeah, 3. Once it's all done, we can clean it up and it'll look really good. Because, for instance, until you have placed all of that block of quartz there, until you've made it all of these rows thick, like that, you can't place the second entrance, which is on the right hand side. It's actually 2 rows in, so you want to place a row of oak wood planks here, 2 rows inwards to this big weird shape that we have on the right here, and you just want to completely fill... why? We just want to completely fill the inside of this in using our oak wood planks, like this, and you can see that we wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise. It's 2 rows in, and we're just going to have an entrance here. It can kind of look exactly how you want it to look, but the genesis of it is I want to have 2 double doors, 1 row off of the ground like this, and I would prefer if it had like a little step up like this, maybe like a little bit of yeah, something like that would look good, and maybe like a bit of a step down. And we could even have, like, if we wanted to, we could have like a couple of potted plants or whatever we want to use as nice little bushes like this. And you could even go absolutely mental and like place something above the door like that. I don't know. These are all ideas, people. It's up to you. But once you've got that sorted out, this is what we're going to do now. So a lot of the front of the house has been complete, but this row of orange... Oh, you thought I forgot about it. No, I didn't. Unfortunately, we have to do something with it. So, we want to take this row of orange that we have here, and we want to extend it 1 row towards us. So, at the moment, just 1 row. Then, we want to do 4 inward diagonal. So coming towards us, we want to do 4 diagonal rows of orange. It'll look like this. So like that, 1 row, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to go to the right until we connect to the house. And we want all of these rows of orange to be as high as the first row. So this is going to create a very interesting feature on the front of the house. You could even use it as like a nice little secret room, but its significance is that it looks nice. So you want to basically have that. So we've just done the 4 diagonals, we've connected to the house to the right, and we've extended it up. But we have to integrate it into the house a little bit better. So we're going to take the part that overhangs the top of the house here. We're going to extend these 2 blocks to the right by 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. And we're going to come to the back, and we're going to, the front here, and we're going to extend 1, 2, like this. So the reason for this is so that now when you look at it, it looks like it actually feeds into the house, if that makes sense. We want to create a window here on the front of the house. So we want to create a window here on the front of the house, and we want to just have a row of blue glass in this position. So where we have this big empty space, we just want to have a row of blue glass. And we might even curve it in a little bit. We might even make that last row. You see where we have this row that kind of like connects to the orange? We might curve this row in a little bit because it creates a little bit of an effect like that. So you see where it just connected beforehand? Now there's a contrast, there's a space. It looks better in my opinion. And that is what the front of the house looks like so far, right? It looks very similar, if not identical, to the one that you saw at the start of the video. I'm looking at it now, making sure that I've missed nothing. And I haven't. We will be doing the garden and stuff later on. So once you've got that sorted out, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to work our way to the left-hand side of our mansion. We want to take the left-hand side of the mansion. We want to take these top 2 rows of block of quartz. This is the very first row that we placed, and we want to extend them back by 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And we want the exact same row directly on top of this. So I'm just going to add it directly on top. We want that 22nd row to connect down to the ground, like so. And we want to fill the center of this in using oak wood planks. And the row of oak wood planks in particular is going to be 1 row inside of the quartz frame that we have just created. So all of these blocks are going to sit simply 1 row inside of the frame, and this creates a nice level of depth. And if you wanted to, you could add additional windows and such to this side of the house, but I've said this a few times already, time and time again, I do preach that you don't have to have an insane level of detail everywhere. Sometimes it's alright just to have a blank wall, or a wall that doesn't have windows or something crazy going on. I quite like it when people take advantage of just some nice empty space. Not everything has to be so insanely crowded. The front of the house looks insane enough without the side of the house also looking absolutely mental. But that is what this side of the house wants to look like right now. We then want to take the row of oak wood planks that we have here at the back of the house. We're moving across the back, and we want to add another row of oak wood planks inside of this going left, like that. We then want to place a row of block of quartz in front of and to the left of that row of oak wood planks. This row of block of quartz is a row of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It should be 1 higher than the oak wood. We then want to extend that 12th block to the left by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We want to extend that 9th block up 1, but also down until we connect down to the ground, like this. We can also connect it all the way across to the right. And what we also want to do is we want to add an additional row of block of quartz inside of this. The reason being is that the windows are set 1 block backwards. So once again, to create a nice little level of depth and such, we want to be able to place inside of the quartz. We want to take out our blue stained glass, and starting from the bottom here, we are going to place 4 rows of glass on top of the inside row of quartz. That's 1 row, 2, 3, 4, with a row of oak planks on top. And then we want to place blue stained glass coming all the way up until we eventually hit the top here. So blue stained glass block until we hit all the way up to the top, like that. We want to use our quartz slabs, and we want to place a layer of quartz underneath and above the row of oak wood planks, because this creates an additional level of depth. It looks good like this. It almost looks as though the oak wood is popping out of the house, like, or sinking into it, either way. But that's what we want to have. Now, going left of the inside row of block of quartz that we have here, we want to place a row of 6 oak wood planks going left. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then place a row of block of quartz, just 1. We want to raise up the oak wood planks and the block of quartz until it is as high as, well, 1 block short of the top of the row to the right of us. So if that makes sense, it wants to be 1 row shorter than the row that we're working with just to the right of us, like that. So that's all the oak wood and the block of quartz too. Extend the block of quartz towards you, 1 row, again, that word, depth, and we want to take the bottom block of quartz and we want to extend it to the left by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looking down, we want to then, from that 4th block, do an up left diagonal, left by 3, 1, 2, 3, up left diagonal, left 2, 1, 2, up left diagonal, left 1. We then want to do 2 up left diagonals, 1, 2, up 1, up left diagonal, up by 3, 1, 2, 3, up left diagonal, connect all the way back to the front of the build. You should find that you connect to the right hand side of the build perfectly, like that. So you can see we've created a nice curve on the house. So next we are going to take this entire, you see this long row of quartz here, right? This long row of quartz wants to be as high as the front of the house. So if you just raise up the end block from this long row, like that, just raise it up, connect it to the top, you'll see what you have to fill in. This is just a nice big chunk of quartz that you just have to fill in. Again, it's using empty space as well as utilizing like the crazy space, making things look really crazy, making it look really nice. Sometimes you just want a wall that you can place stuff on without having to block up 50 different windows. I quite like the big empty spaces as well as all of the intricate detail. We want to take the end of the wall and we want to extend it inwards by 1 row, like this. Wonderful. Now, inside of the curved part of quartz, we want to place a layer of glass. So to show you what I mean, we want to place a row of glass that sits inside of this curved part of the house, like that. We then want to add 4 rows of glass on top. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to do the same thing for every single one of the other blocks of glass. I almost said blocks of quartz, but I didn't. But then I did, because I told you guys that I almost said I did it. I know. Anyway, we want to continue placing all of this glass on top of the blocks of glass. And we want to just raise it all the way up to the top like this. Wonderful. We're then going to add a layer of oak planks on top of the glass, like this. Just going to add oak wood planks on top of the glass. Then we are going to add, I do believe, I hope that this is true. You know what? This is what we'll do. Okay, this is better. So, you know this row of block of quartz that we have, right? Down here, at the bottom. We want the same pattern of quartz up here at the top, if that makes sense. So, we want to create the same quartz shape at the top as we have the bottom. So we'll take this and we'll move it into this outward top quartz. We'll move it into the left by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to do an inwards left diagonal. And then left by 3. 1, 2, 3. We then want to do an inwards left diagonal. And left by 2. 1, 2. Then an inwards left diagonal. Left 1. Then 2 inwards left diagonals. 1, 2. Then in by 1. Inwards left diagonal. Connect to the house. So we want to have the same shape that we have just below. You'll be able to see whether it's right. It will be glaringly obvious if it's not. We then want to place on top of the oak wood, we want to place rows of glass until we eventually hit the top of the house, or where the top of the house is going to be, because of course it's not going to, we don't want it to actually be in the top of the house, if that makes sense. It wants to be, it wants to stop one row below. So just below where the quartz is, we want to stop it then. You guys will be able to see what I'm talking about when I eventually get here. It wants to be able to, there we go. Basically just no ears, just no ear holes in the house. I don't know what I'm even talking about. No ears in the house. So that's what we want to have right there, which looks a bit boring. So the way we're going to spruce this up is we're going to use our quartz slab, and we're going to place a row of quartz slab underneath the oak wood planks along the glass, and we are going to place oak wood planks above as well, so, or quartz above the oak wood planks as well. So we want to have something which should look very much like that. And that is absolutely perfecto. And that, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, is a big portion of the house. So the next part of this is going to be to cover up the roof. There's a multitude of ways to do this. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. So, first, you know this big orange thing that we have on the front of the house? We have to just place a layer of orange concrete inside of the bottom portion of it here that just covers up all of the empty space. So just so it covers up all the empty space like this. You can do a similar thing on the top if you like. You can kind of like bring the bring it inwards. You could even perhaps create like a right angle like this, and then you could fill in the top of it. This is all about just not creating any gaps in the house, pretty much. If you have a different way that you want to tackle this, that you want to take care of this, that you want this to look like, then feel free to do that. I'm just basically just covering up that. The inside of the house is going to be messed about with by you guys. So this is what the inside will look like. It doesn't look great. We can change that later though. So we have to fill in the house as well. So we have to fill in the top of the house. We're going to first of all fill in this entire left-hand side using block of quartz. So the entire left-hand side or right-hand side of the house, depending on how you look at it, we're going to fill in using block of quartz. So we're going to like cut that in half. That'll be filled in with quartz. That's fine. This side of the house, I want to connect these two sticky up quartz blocks together. I want to connect those front to back, and I want to fill the top of this part of the house in using oak wood planks. So this divide, this middle bit, I would like to be filled in using oak wood planks like this, because I quite like, I don't want the entire roof to be filled in really boringly, so I kind of like the idea of just like oak wood planks. This side of the house, I'm going to connect the top here. I'm going to connect the oak wood planks here at the top. And I'll do the same with the block of quartz, like this. And on this side, this is going to be a bit unique. I'm also going to add in another row of, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a layer of oak wood planks here, and I'm going to create a layer of oak wood planks all the way around the inside of this particular top portion of the house, like this. You guys will be able to see what I'm doing here, like that. And then we're going to place quartz slabs above and inside of this empty space like this. So above and inside of this empty space, we're going to have a layer of quartz slabs. It's going to look very, very fancy. And this is actually going to be a skylight, which you guys might know that I'm a massive fan of. So that is going to be filled in with glass. You could even have one on this side if you like, but I kind of like it being a bit different. So as you can see, even the roof looks kind of nice. And this will just be filled in with glass, this particular part. This will all be filled in with glass. This one is going to get filled in with oak wood planks. And this one is going to be filled in using block of quartz. Now, I'm not going to do this on tutorial because that is going to take a really long time. But I'll be back once I have filled in all of these sections with the materials that I've just said I'll fill them in with. Back in a moment. And there we go. So as you can see, that is what the top of the house looks like once it has been filled in with the quartz, the glass, and of course the oak wood planks. It looks very, very nice. It could have a little bit more detail if you wanted to. I would use a mixture of quartz slabs and glass on the right hand side. If you did in fact want to have another skylight, I think that would look very, very fitting, but that looks very good too. Now, that'll take you a little while to do, so please do pause the video if you are still working on that. I imagine you are, so pause the video, feel free to just pause, hit play once you have finished what you're doing. So once you got that sorted out, this is what we're going to do next. So I'm just going to do the garden a little bit in front of the house because I think that it really does make the front of the house pop a little bit. So the right hand side of the house, first of all, I'm going to extend it outwards a little bit using stone slabs, and I'm just going to create like a patio area coming out of the front of the house, maybe about 7 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, something like that, like a nice stone patio like this, just out in front of the right hand side of the house. I want to create a border using block of quartz from the edge of the patio. I want to place like, say like 1, 2, 3 block of quartz coming out, 1, 2, 1, then like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Or maybe that's a bit too much. So maybe we'll knock out those 2 blocks like this. Or maybe we'll have our row 3, 1, 2, 1, 1, and 2. Something like that. Just create a bit of a curve like this. I quite like that. You could even have it extended out a little bit more if you wanted to. Something like that would look quite nice. I'm going to create a path leading from the front set of doors to the right hand set of doors. So I'm just going to dig a bit of a random looking path here, just vaguely coming inwards like this towards the right direction. So something like that. I want it to be roughly 2 blocks thick. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. Doesn't even have to look amazing at all. It will get lost in the environment anyway. So a nice little curved path like this looks quite nice. I like using white concrete for this because I'm sick of using quartz, pretty much. I think that the white concrete looks very, very nice. I like how it goes against the grass. So something like that looks quite good. And something I haven't addressed, actually, I just realised. I've placed blue concrete behind the windows because there's nothing inside the house. So I want the windows to pop a lot. It looks very nice, very bright, and of course, just matched the colour of the glass to the colour of concrete. So around this area of the house, I'm going to just place a little bit of a bush. I'm going to use jungle leaves in front of these windows, a little bit of a random looking bush like this. And I'm going to chuck maybe like a magenta concrete like that, and maybe like one coming off diagonally, just so it's a nice colourful bush on the right hand side of the house, just like that. I'm also going to create a little bit of a bush effect here around this curve, so that that little bit of a curve is now further out than the patio. It looks a little bit more interesting. I'm going to bone meal this area just to well, no flowers, really, none at all. You didn't think we needed them, so how about this? So how about some like orange tulips and some like white tulips? Just because it kind of goes with the house like that. We can even have a little bit of grass in there too. You see, it just makes a little bit of a difference with the front of the house. It just adds a little bit more shape to it. It exaggerates that curve that we've got going on there. And we're also going to kind of like, we're going to add a pool as well. So a pool, you guys know how to do this. Quartz slab, I'm going to use some sea lanterns for this, a bit of orange glazed terracotta and some water buckets. Just in front of the left hand side of the house, I'm just going to pick an area, maybe like this. So maybe the area will be about this or so, about that wide. That looks quite good. And I want it to be boxy. Like, I want it to be like a boxy pool. I don't want it to be a curve, because the left hand side of the house it's basically just like a big rectangular shape, whereas the right hand side is a little bit boxier like that, if that makes sense. Or the left hand side is boxy and that one's curved. I'm going to dig out the pool, and I'm going to place glazed terracotta in here. The reason that I'm using the orange glazed terracotta is because it relates back to the orange concrete that we placed for the big giant curvy thing on the front of the house. Don't ask me why I decided to chuck that on there. I just took a bit of a gamble, because I really like using like curves and bends in modern builds, and I wanted a bright color, a color combination that I love. I love this color combination. You'll be able to tell if you make any of my modern houses. I love orange, blue, quartz, and orange, blue, quartz, and oak. I love it. I love the color combo, and that's why I decided to put a big slab of orange concrete, and that is also why I'm using orange glazed terracotta, because once again I'm keeping everything kind of the same. Like the pool is, you know, a big varying combination. These kind of look like Nemo to me. I don't know why, like a double-headed Nemo. But yeah, everything. No, don't do that. Thank you. Yeah, everything is just kind of like a relate back, unless it's like a color of a bush or some flowers or something. Like it all relates back to the house. Like it's to keep all of the colors the same. So that's what the front of the house looks like if you just mess about with it a little bit. I really like how it looks like that. If you like, you can use green terracotta and lime terracotta to. You know what? I don't think I actually even want to do it this time around. If you wanted to, you could add artificial grass instead of regular grass. But I kind of like this look. I kind of like what we've got going on here. I think that actually looks really, really good. I don't think there's any reason to mess about with it any further. And that's the house, ladies and gentlemen. I think that that's a really nice looking modern mansion. I hope that you guys do too. That is the tutorial pretty much 100% complete. I don't know if we've missed anything. If you've enjoyed the tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. If you like the video, please do like it. If you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. If you subscribe, click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all of my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And of course, on top of all of these things, guys, I know it's a lot. It's a lot to do. If you do enjoy the content, if you want to see more stuff, you gotta let me know down there in the comment section. What would you like to see next? Would you like to see more modern houses? Would you like to see some wacky houses? Let me know down there in the comments. But if you do want to check out more of my things, card system, description below. If you want to make more modern houses, check out the modern house playlist. If you want to make some more cartoony stuff, check out the Cartoon Builds playlist. My favorite playlist, by the way, the Cartoon Builds playlist. I love that thing to death. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.